Now it's official.
It's official. Yeah. It's been a minute. And after having that break from work and stuff like that, I realized you have to have little things to look forward to.
Yes.
To actually be able to do something. And so
right.
we haven't been to, I don't know, it hasn't been a year, has it? No, because you went to PT's.
The last time
it was me, you, my dad, and my brother.
What was it, Notch's birthday? Or your birthday?
No. It was before when I came back from Mississippi and Detroit for work.
Was
it can't
it?
Have been that long ago.
If it
but
was,
it's been a minute.
Vaguely,
it's what I'm saying. It's been a couple months because
A
obviously
long,
things have been
time.
happening nonstop. But I'm like, I want to try to find to make sure like at least once a week or every other week, one thing for an hour or two because the grind of 9 to 5 and work and shit is just
it's deadly,
the fuckery, which I will rerun with you again when I just went through the last 4 days.
It's like there's a vacuum. It's like as soon as you clock in, this vacuum pops out and it shoves itself into your brain and starts sucking your energy out of and you're just like, my soul is dying.
I mean, yeah, no, it's taking, and I was just talking to D about this, how I had a week off of work. It was nice. We went to Cali. I posted some of the stuff on our social media, to promote the brand and stuff like that, and got to put my feet in the snow, my sand in the snow.
Hey,
I got to put my feet. Damn, why can't I say it? I got to put my feet in the sand and actually like enjoy just life. And it's like, it's not like I needed to sleep in. I was still constantly doing stuff, but every day I'm like, all right, I feel fine. I don't need a bunch of caffeine. I don't need anything. Right. I'm telling you, by day 3 back into work on Monday, I was so mentally drained. I went home and fucking fell asleep for like 4 hours.
Yes.
And I'm like, this isn't normal.
This is why you left.
Yes. And it's like even, the more physical days and when I'm teaching defensive tactics, yeah, those days get aggressive and we fight, but I'm used to grappling and training.
Right.
But that's like end of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So Monday, Tuesday should be a cakewalk. It's just showing the moves.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, but then, dude, it's just everybody, and I'm seeing this across the board. Grass isn't always green on the other side, but even other officers that come to help us train from other properties, the grass isn't green on the other side. Yeah. They're mentally just so fucked off.
Yes.
With everything that's been happening that it's like, I don't want to be around it.
Right.
I shouldn't be exhausted from just communicating.
Yes.
That's we've been talking our entire lives.
But it's the mental gymnastics.
Yeah. There you go. It's the mental gymnastics.
I'm worried about your state of mind, and I'm worried about my state of mind, and I got to make sure I don't say something that pisses you off, but I got to make sure I say it right so that I get my point across. It's so much shit to think about when I could just be like, yo, can you do this for me? They'd be like, yes or no.
Simple. And it's like when we're having basic conversations, it's like, when I'm talking with the crew, it's like it's easy to be able to just go through the motion and talk. And then when we do train and fight, like today, I had a bunch of bullshit thrown on my plate to get prepped for a new legal thing that wants to do in order to kind of like, I'm not going to put it out into details, obviously, but just move forward with arming officers to be more available to deal with conflict. And this will obviously put more on all of our plates. Yes. And in between all this, button heads with management, the small management that I have, I got so exhausted from dealing with it that at the end of the day, because I shoot the videos like every Thursday, we have the big fights. Right. We have where the officer or the academy instructors are a subject and the officers have to put us in restraints. And normally I'm not a defender. I'm not built to get thrown around. I'm built to counter and fight. Yeah, so I'm offensive. Yeah, I'm I'm an offensive person. And I'm telling you, normally the big homie Jordan, because he's this big Samoan guy, he's an Uso, he'll hold himself and let the students try to wrestle and fight with him. And after like a minute, we don't want him to get hurt, so we'll jump in to like oh, that's like the family members, because when a like say the drunk uncle or this drunk sister gets in a fight, who comes to help? Family members.
Family. Yes.
So we play that for the officers. Don't focus on just the target. Right. Be prepared for outside conflict. And sure enough, I came in and all the bullshit that I was dealing with, I was like, oh yeah, I just started letting him have it. I'm telling you, one person came towards me and I arm dragged him down to the ground and he looked around like, what the hell? I got him and pushed him into somebody else. I started doing like foot sweeps and stuff like that just to trip him up. One dude came to grab me from behind and I hip tossed him. And we don't teach that. We don't teach it because these people don't have any kind of a grappling background, so they have to be more of arm locks.
Because that's
and
more
wrist locks.
Technique.
Yes,
than
the
force.
moves that we teach most officers is just the bare minimum, so they know what to do with their hands when they're doing an altercation. Because you're dealing with a 9 to 5 Joe.
Yes.
But when you're dealing with someone that's more
kind of stronger, more capable,
and trained.
You need technique.
Technique is what was what
technique.
And that's what I was screaming. That's what I was saying. I got the guy on my hip and I was like, technique. And I put him down and he's like, what am I supposed to do with that?
Technique.
So it definitely helped to be able to get that aggression out. By the end of it, I'd already put down 5 guys in under a minute. And it's mostly just like sweeping their feet and kind of muscling them around and stuff like that. But it was cool because afterwards, you could tell that my team that was with me that has been going through shit, that 1 minute drill, everybody felt better.
Yes.
And it's like, that's what made me think about, like I said, just talking about going to PTs. It's like that one little section of mental release makes up for a week's worth of bullshit.
Because it was almost like a form of escapism.
Yes.
It was like in that moment, you weren't you. You guys were bystanders or really, what's the word? Instigators.
Instigators, yep.
Of the situation. And I told Lynn, because Lynn showed me the video of the training, look, doing security, fuck the rules. I'm so sorry to tell anybody. Your rules are irrelevant. The shit they do and don't want you to do, the cat that they were having to fend off in Lynn's academy, bro, I told him straight up, because this dude's like, what, 6'5"?
Jordan, yeah, he's 6'3", but he's 340 pounds.
Solid. Just solid.
He's a small
man.
one. Yeah, he's a Uso.
They were trying to pull his arms apart because he did that finger lock, and I'm so used to that. I told Lynn, I said, bro, look, straight up, I would have jumped square on his back. I'd have choked him out and drug him to the ground.
And it sucks.
That's the only way to get that dude down.
Back in the day, I sound old saying this, but when D was doing security, that was justifiable because of the current situations. Yeah. Now that social media has gotten to such a rise,
everybody's so fucking
the minute you do this one time and someone catches you doing it on camera, they
it's
fucking,
everywhere.
They hang you to fucking burn.
Yes, sir.
And it's like, so what I've been doing with a lot of these officers is, we teach the bare minimum, but because I've been grappling for such a long time, I'm a small guy knowing how to deal with bigger targets.
Yes.
The guy that I arm dragged and then got him from behind, he was originally attacking me forward, and I was able to control him and move him forward. And this dude is tall BMA that was like, he was 6'5", and he was like, how is this little dude fucking muscling me out? And I was moving, and I was explaining to them, like, one of the moves we do is called like an armbar or takedown, armbar or whatever. If a subject decides to push you forward or grab you, they teach it in the aspects as if someone's just going to grab you with one hand.
Right.
How often do you try to strangle someone with one hand? Or grab them and move them with one hand? Most people grab with 2 or push with 2. So I'm showing them, push me with 2 hands, grab me with 2 hands. And I'm showing them how to sneak through, grab, pivot, and go into these moves and shit.
But that's hella hyper technical.
Yeah, and I'm breaking down these techniques to show them in actual combat. Realistically, no one's going to give you the time to grab them.
Right.
So I run through the corporate legal side of how to teach the basic, and then I add in street.
You got to throw in some flavor
because it's realistically they get hurt.
If you walk into a situation, I know we're gonna give you the intro in a second. Give us a minute.
Of course.
We're venting.
Yes,
but it's in those situations, like Lynn said, it is almost, I won't say life or death, but it feels that way when you're in the right situation.
And I've told them that. It's like you go into this fight where you know the fight's coming, and I explain to them, because a lot of them are like, oh, we can fight for 3 to 5 minutes.
No.
In 1 minute scenario, before when Jordan's not even fighting back, or I come in and I am fighting you, they're gasping for fucking air, and they're trying to smash and get this ant mentality to attack. And I'm like, look what happened. Dude. 1 minute. So if you go against a trained fighter, where it's like, oh, you're gonna hit me, you're gonna move around. All right, I'll defend, I'll block.
And that's the scary shit.
And then a minute 30 passes by, and I tell them this all the time. In a minute's time, in an actual fight, people have a tendency to hold their breath.
Yes.
And hold and grunt and try to move.
The adrenaline.
That 1 minute, you have the strength of a grown adult.
Yes.
Because you're strong at that point. Minute 30 comes in, you have the strength of a teenager.
Yes.
The energy's there, but you're kind of lazy. 2 minutes, you have the strength of a child.
Done.
And then, if I'm a trained fighter and I look at you and go, all right, you ready to fight now?
Right.
And you're like, what? Like, what am I going to do?
Yep.
I can't fight back. I have no energy.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to beat you up.
Well, see, and that's always your worst enemy doing security. It's not civilians. It's other security guards, cops, military, street fighters, normal fighters, people that have grown up fighting, and that's what the fuck they know. I've had not UFC fighters, but I've had to manhandle UFC fighter bodyguards because they go out and party, they go out and get drunk. The Marines have their military ball when they graduate. They go out and get drunk, and you have to not only size that person up, but you have to hope that your skill set is superior or equal to that person, or else they will fuck you up. And they don't care because now they're intoxicated and they're angry. But that's a different story for a different day, because I got some shit.
We got some stuff to spit.
All right, so let's go ahead and get this started. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm D.
This is Lynn.
We're Project Airwaves. in case you haven't yet already, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, all that fun stuff. Go ahead and check us out on all our social media. Links will be in the description down below. We are sponsoring a GoFundMe for New Beginning Drive Academy. Woo! I also just published my book. What is it? Hang on. Where's my book?
Oh, my gosh. You don't even know what you're trying to sell.
Because I was trying to, I have my normal script, A Lost Mind, Guided by a Tormented Soul. Mm-hmm. It's on Amazon.
Oh, you changed the front of the cover, too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I changed the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's on Amazon. It's $9.99. I'm just saying, not even a shameless plug. Sponsored by Project Airwaves. Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's pretty cool.
All right. Let's jump off into it.
Are we timing this? Did we set?
I mean, we are 10 minutes in just on our
ranting of the rant. But
I would say that's our intro right there.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's jump off into the shit.
All right.
Because you got a heavy shit and I got heavy shit.
That's true.
No dumps required.
Let's
go. Okay. All right. Jump us in. No, jump us into it. That doesn't sound right. No. Let's get this trash fire, garbage fire, a burning limb.
I don't understand what you're trying to do.
What's your topic?
Bringing light to it. Obviously, people have already heard about it more and more, but the only reason why this actually brought attention to me, obviously, most people know that I do listen to Joe Rogan quite a bit. There was a guy by the name of Charlie Walker. Charlie Walker is an explorer, writer, and public speaker who specializes in long-distance human-powered expeditions. So this guy, and it was cool. Like, that episode started off relatively, interesting. Just, he decided sometime a couple years ago that he wanted to just drop everything that he was doing and travel a certain portion of the world on a bike for 4 years, just nonstop. The Forrest Gump style of it. I just started running. And then just kept going for a while, and then he said, "All right, I don't want to run no more." So he got 3 years in. he got 3 years in and stopped, but all the stuff he was coming across was interesting. So when I was listening to this episode, it stumbled upon within the last couple months that he found himself in Russia. This was right before Ukraine and Russia started going to war for things. And it was crazy to me because I didn't really pay attention to it, but I heard about the whole Brittney Griner. Right. Griners. I don't want to butcher that name, but the WMA superstar, 9 years. You can't
say that.
What?
WMA? No.
WNBA? What?
Oh, I thought you said WMA, like white male. I was like, what?
No, I wasn't profiling it. BMA, black male adult, WMA, yeah. That's security.
WNBA.
Yeah,
sorry.
That's security lingo to profile subjects.
Continue.
So, I saw the parts about her being in Russia, and going to Russian prison for containing less than a gram of cannabis oil in like little CBD pens, pretty much. So it's crazy to me, and I didn't know enough to know that Russia's just the communism and the way that they control just their population is so ass backwards. When Charlie was going through his stuff, he was explaining how he was there sightseeing, using his phone for social media, talking to people, just kind of gathering information because he was traveling. He wanted to use it to create a book. And something happened to where people in a small town, reported it. Obviously not reported it, but you're supposed to be on a visa. Yeah. Like, there's more to it. I highly recommend it. It's episode 1832, Charlie Walker on the Joe Rogan podcast. If you get a chance, listen to it because the story's so fucking interesting. He was explaining how he went to go there to take photos and talk to people and stuff like that, but nothing to do with the war in Ukraine. It wasn't anything that he was trying to look into, but he wanted to produce a book to explain his travels over there. And when this was happening, you get Russian soldiers in different parts of Moscow and other places that were making contact with him saying, "Hey, are you doing journalism?
What are you doing here?"
Yeah, and exactly. He's like, "Oh, no, I'm just taking pictures with my phone and stuff like this and doing this." They're like, "Well, no, that's called being a journalist." "Well, no, I'm not being a journalist." They're stating, "Well, so-and-so said that you were asking questions about the war." And he goes, "Okay, well, who's so-and-so?" "Oh, well, he's over here, but you don't need to see him. So we need to go take you into processing." And he was super chill. It's like, "Okay, that's fine." So they put him in processing. He's supposed to take like 24 hours. Took 16 days. Shit. To where they just kept bumping him from a cell to a cell. And he's like, "Okay, something's wrong." So he tried to get everything ready, pack everything back up to be like, "All right, I'm going to start moving my way out." And then they're like, "Oh, well, let's see your phone." He's like, "Okay, well, here's my phone." He goes, "Oh, this picture's showing your location. Who are you sending it to?" "Well, it's just to show that this is where I was and this is what I was doing." "But who?" "Well, my girlfriend in America." "Oh, so you're an American." Right. "So you're sending information. You're sending information about this. We have to process you again." Right. 16 to 20 days come through. Fuck. This man got bounced from location to location for almost 2.5 to 3 months of being in prisons until he finally got to Moscow. And he started seeing that they were finding ways to work around, like there were never any witnesses, everything like this. They were trying to question him and use him as a bargaining chip to trade somebody in the U.S. to get him out. And he was relatively a nobody. Yep. So he's like, "Well, this is wrong." So he starts trying to record this stuff on his phone, like an audio thing saying, "Okay, I know what they're doing." And the Russians are like, they're using their Google Translate to say, oh, you're a spy, and
Right.
pointing at pictures of books and stuff like that he was
Right.
reading. And it was crazy because when he finally was getting out to Moscow, he's like, okay, I'm going through my final search. I have this SD card with all of this bullshit that they've been feeding me through because I don't want them to lock me away, because they're leaning more towards, we're going to lock you away here for a long time.
Oh, yes. Forever, damn
So
near.
he had a camp visor, like you know what I'm talking about?
Like a headlamp?
A headlamp, yeah, the headlamp that could pop open. So he was sneaking the SD card in there every single time. He was
Fucking
done with it.
brilliant.
But then he started getting to points where they started doing checks on him for everything.
Right.
And he finally got moved away from that SD card. And he's like, fuck, if they catch this, now it looks like I'm being a fucking spy.
Right,
Because
right.
I've been trying to record this way to get out. He sent emails back to his girlfriend and his family friends to say, hey, I need someone to find a way to get me out of here. I don't want to ruin the whole thing, and I'm kind of butchering bits and pieces of this. But of course, he finally did get out. I won't introduce why or how. But he was able to get all of his shit out and get back to the U.S. And in exchange, Russia did this thing where they banned him from Russia for 5 years because they considered him a journalist and a spy.
Yep.
So they sent him back home. He got on the Joe Rogan podcast 3 weeks later, and then kind of talked about it low key, but didn't want to use names because he didn't want Russians.
Oh,
to
no,
come out.
yeah, because they'll grab your ass, extradite you at your
Exactly.
right back
And
there.
so when I was
Words.
looking into how this stuff was going for Brittney Griner, they're doing the same fucking thing to her. They're tying her up for little accusations for carrying CBD oil or
Well,
any
see,
form of cannabis.
and here's where I want to put in my 2 cents. So if you folks want like a better example as far as like seeing shit happen, check out Nat Geo's Locked Up Abroad. That's a great fucking series. It literally talks about the stuff Lynn's talking about right now. People leaving the country, Mexico, Canada, wherever, doing something or not doing something, getting hemmed up and being caught up and tied up in the system for years, in some cases, decades. And some of them don't make it out. But yeah, Locked Up Abroad from Nat Geo, that's a really good representation. What I want to put my 2 cents in is she's not completely innocent. And that's where
more to
she
it, right?
fucked up.
Yeah, I didn't get to read into too much of it. So
You go to another country, you want to get high, go ahead, get high. You know, you're in that country, you're fucking with those people. I'm sure it's illegal and whatever, but if you want to get high,
in through that
get
country, yeah.
But when you're coming back over here,
She got caught in Moscow.
you need to
carrying.
be clean as fuck, my G. I don't care if you're a guy or a girl. You bring anything over from another country. You bring anything into their country from over here. That's a crime. That's you might as well be committing a federal offense over there. I mean, you practically are. They will hem you up. You will be put in jail 4 years. My issue with this particular situation with say her name again.
Brittney Griner.
Because I want to call her Brittney Griner, but
Brittney Griner.
Brittney Griner is we've been traveling to other countries for so long. You're a part of the WNBA. You know the rules. You know the stipulations. I'm sure they drilled this shit in your head before you went over there. Look, don't do this. Don't do that. You didn't listen. You fucked up. Now, was it a small amount? You're damn right. It wasn't anything noticeable.
And then that's what's I do agree with you on that aspect. Is like if you're gonna go travel somewhere, you know, the process of you're practically distributing if you're carrying in a state. Like if I were to bring weed from here and go to like Ohio,
right,
and it's illegal over
it's
there.
Illegal.
It becomes a federal crime. What Russia's doing with her has nothing to do.
Now
with,
that I don't agree with. Right,
they're using her. Because that was one of the things that Russia did the same fucking thing with her that they did with Charlie. Is that they want to use her to exchange.
It's like
prisoner.
extortion.
Yeah,
they're like, well, we have
for.
somebody you want,
so
you give
they
us
started
somebody
stacking
we
all the
want.
fines. And Dee was explaining this to me about how her prison sentence was. I was under the impression that she was gonna be there for 8 years. But then he go ahead, explain it.
Yeah. So how it made it sound in the article we read, she got sentenced to 9 years, but every day that she spends in pretrial goes toward 1.5 days off of her overall sentence, bringing it down to full-time serve will be 8 years potentially, even though her actual sentencing is 9. It's pretty much like getting out early on good behavior.
And it was crazy. You know who they're trying to take?
Who?
Russia wants to. They've been trying it for multiple years, and they've been using it for the same fucking person. And Charlie Walker was to be exchanged for this person. They didn't want to fucking switch him out because this guy is a Russian arms dealer named Viktor Viktor Bot. They want to swap him for her. And that's what they tried to do for Charlie. So they're just like, let me take Americans, let me swap you out. Oh, you don't want them? They're staying with us.
You want American gold, you give us Russia arms dealer.
Exactly. And that's like, so of course, unless we're not going to give away someone that's...
Well, first of all, that would be like me getting hemmed up in Russia and then being like, we'll give you him back for Tony Stark. No, fucker.
Yeah, it's saying Putin. Yeah, no,
they're not equivalent. They're just not. And also with the U.S., while we have had some shady dealings, I won't even get into it because I've gone into this multiple times. The U.S. has done some shit. We're not really enemies with everybody. We're all just kind of stepping on each other's toes, but they're all scratching each other's back. It always comes down to chess. It's like a game of chess. If one of our people goes to another country, we go to North Korea, we go to China, we go to the UK, we go anywhere, Australia, anywhere like that, and we fuck up. Now they got the U.S. by the balls because they go, hey, you want your person back, you want your people back, right? What are we getting out of it? Yeah. They don't always do it, but 9 times out of 10, they got us by the balls. Now, this arms dealer is way worse than a WNBA basketball player. So
right,
the U.S.
just like an explorer.
Right.
Yeah.
The U.S. isn't going to get down with that. No. However, we still have to find a way, or we either have to find a way to get her back, or she's going to have to serve out her time. My question is, after she serves her time, are they going to let her leave?
I doubt it. And that's the only thing about it. Until she has no ability to be able to be used for anything. And they put together some kind of program called not bring our troops home, but like this, pretty much it's a GoFundMe to try and get her to come back as the best of the ability, because honestly, it's like trading fucking Pokemon cards. Biden doesn't want to give up his Pokemon card, and Putin's like, well, I want this for this. Right. And that's not fair that you're using a person's livelihood just to gain leverage on politics.
And the problem, like I said, the worst part is she fucked up. They have her on legitimate charges. That's the biggest problem. It's not like, Russia kidnapped a U.S. citizen.
Bring our families home campaign. That's what it's called.
You went to their country. So that's like me going to Lynn's house, pissing on the carpet, and expecting him to be like, okay, you go home. I'll call the cleaning people. I'll send you the bill. No, he's going to fucking bury my face in that shit and be like, clean it up with your butt cheeks.
With your anus.
With your anus.
All right, but I'm good. You good?
All right, so we will definitely be talking more about that as more information comes out.
Absolutely. Thank you for listening.
All right, we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.
Bye.